Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go-to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from June 2nd to the 8th. There are over 400 new books releasing this week, including new books from Preston Child and James Patterson. There is no way we could cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors, so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. One of this week's most anticipated books is Flashlight by Susan Choi. One summer night, Louisa and her father take a walk on the breakwater. Her father is carrying a flashlight. He cannot swim. Later, Louisa is found on the beach, soaked to the skin, barely alive. Her father is gone. She is 10 years old. Louisa is an only child of parents who have severed themselves from the past. Her father, Sirk, is Korean, but was born and raised in Japan. He lost touch with his family when they bought into the promises of post-war Pyongyang and relocated to North Korea. Her American mother, Anne, is estranged from her Midwestern family after a reckless adventure in her youth. And then there is Tobias, Anne's illegitimate son, whose reappearance in their lives will have astonishing consequences. But now it is just Anne and Louisa and Anne, adrift and facing the challenges of ordinary life in the wake of great loss. United, separated, and also repelled by their mutual grief, they attempt to move on. But they cannot escape the echoes of that night. What really happened to Louisa's father? Shifting perspectives across time and character and turning back again, and again to that night by the sea. Flashlight chases the shockwaves of one family's catastrophe, even as they are swept up in the invisible currents of history. A monumental new novel from the National Book Award winner Susan Choi, Flashlight spans decades and continents in a spellbinding, heart-gripping investigation of family, loss, memory, and the ways in which we are shaped by what we cannot see. Flashlight will be released on June 3rd. Immortal Murder is the latest in the Hugh Corbett mysteries by Paul Doherty. January 1313. As London is gripped by a freezing winter, Sir Hugh Corbett becomes embroiled in a ghoulish game of kings played out between the English and French courts. Years earlier, Corbett prevented a gang of rifflers from breaking into the royal treasury, but the leading chieftain, Sarazen, escaped. Now Sarazen is caught killing a squire of Queen Isabella's, and Corbett swiftly has the riffler tried and hanged from the signpost of the Twilight Tavern. The matter should have ended there, but more mayhem ensues, as, one by one, those who helped bring Sarazen to trial are gruesomely murdered. Behind all this is an individual calling himself the Immortal. He swears the most bloody vengeance against Corbett and all those who support the royal clerk. And as danger dogs Corbett's every footstep, he must act quickly to prevent further bloodshed. Immortal Murder, the 25th entry in the Hugh Corbett Medieval Mystery Series, will be released on June 5th. From John Durgin comes The Devil's in the Next Room. On an isolated farm in the New Hampshire woods, Brian Davidson spends his days caring for his brother Beau, who suffers from a childhood head injury, and their ailing mom. Together, the brothers have managed to live a peaceful life, but the shadows around their home have begun to shift. Dead bodies start turning up nearby, horrifically twisted, covered in carved symbols, mouths agape in frozen screams. As the disturbing events creep closer to home, Brian begins to sense that his family's past might hold the key to this hideous mystery. The bonds of family are brutally tested as darkness closes in, and some secrets refuse to stay buried. The Devil's in the Next Room will be released on June 3rd. From USA Today best-selling author Ashley Zakrzewski comes One Hot Summer. He's a grumpy cowboy, single dad, and her brother's best friend. Kelsey is left with nowhere to go when her house burns down, She turns to her brother, who reaches out to his best friend for a favor. Carson offers for her to stay at his ranch in Lawson Ridge until the insurance company comes through, but their chemistry is sizzling. Carson didn't believe in love. Growing up, watching his parents fight constantly, he has never craved that type of relationship until Kelsey enters the picture. Will Carson sweep her off her feet and prove to himself that he is worthy of love? Find out in One Hot Summer on June 2nd. This week's nonfiction pick is I'll Tell You When I'm Home, a memoir by Hala Alyn. After a decade of yearning for parenthood, years marked by miscarriage after miscarriage, Hala Alyn makes the decision to use a surrogate. In this charged time, she turns to the archetype of the waiting woman, the kind who tells stories to ensure another dawn, to confront her own narratives of motherhood, love, and inheritance. As her baby grows in the body of another woman in another country, Hala finds her life unraveling, a husband who wants to leave, the cost of past traumas and addictions threatening to resurface, the city of her youth, Beirut, on the brink of crisis. She turns to family stories and communal myths of grandmothers mapping their lives through Palestine, Kuwait, Syria, Lebanon, of eradicated villages and invading armies, of places of refuge that proved only temporary, of men that left and women that stayed, of the contradictions of her own Midwestern childhood and adolescence in various Arab cities. Meanwhile, as the baby grows from the size of a poppy seed to a grain of rice, then a lime, and beyond, Hala gathers the stories that are her legacy, setting down the ones that confine, holding close those that liberate. It is emotionally charged, painstaking work, but now the stakes are higher. How to honor ancestors and future generations alike in the midst of displacement. How to impart love for those who are no longer here, for places one can no longer touch. A stunningly lyrical and brutally honest quest for motherhood, selfhood, and peoplehood. I'll Tell You When I'm Home is a powerful story of unraveling and becoming, of destruction and redemption, and of homelands lost and recreated. I'll Tell You When I'm Home is available on June 3rd. From New York Times bestselling author Barry Eisler comes The System, a novel of the deep state. Valeria Velez has just pulled off a stunning upset in California's 27th district, ousting 10-term corporatist incumbent Billion Dunn from his seat in Congress. Young, beautiful, and idealistic, Valeria and her boyfriend/campaign manager Preston are determined to use Valeria's new position to stop stuffing the maw of the military machine and return power to the people. But when fugitive hacker Lance Thaddeus uncovers a top-secret Pentagon program combining artificial intelligence with nuclear command and control, Valeria might have to choose between her ideals and her life. And even while trying to navigate the unfamiliar pathways and temptations of American power, Valeria will have to contend with a mother still frozen by bitterness about the past, a brother jealous of Valeria's future, and the ghost of the father who abandoned them all and then died before Valeria could even begin to understand his reasons. But as Valeria will discover in the world she has entered, personal and political can be meaningless distinctions. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. And as Valeria negotiates with the factions holding real power in America, Wall Street, the Pentagon, Silicon Valley, the lines between compromise and capitulation, savvy and sellout, player and played, become increasingly hard to see, with ultimate stakes not just for Valeria, but for the very future of constitutional democracy in America. Barry Eisler's The System will be released on June 6th. Eat, Post, Like is a stirring novel of self-discovery, resilience, and culinary adventures from New York to Italy and Paris by Emily Arden Wells. Cassie Brooks has her life all figured out. 1. Make partner at the prestigious law firm she works at by age 35. 2. Put in as much work as required to make goal number 1 happen. 3. Spend as much time as possible with her boyfriend, James Colwell. Work might be exhausting, but for now she's satisfied making good money and enjoying New York City with James. He's an accountant, but has surprisingly eclectic taste in food. Cassie is starting to think he could be the one when her life flips upside down with one call. James has died tragically. Months into her grief, she uncovers a worn diary belonging to James and stumbles upon a remarkable revelation. James was the mastermind behind the hottest anonymous foodie account in the city. With detailed food reviews, lists of new restaurants, and a tantalizing plan to involve Cassie, James had been preparing for an adventure of a lifetime. When Cassie unwittingly accepts a dinner reservation on behalf of James's viral account, she embarks on a whirlwind journey filled with unforgettable meals and unexpected connections. She goes from endless hours on call as a lawyer to savoring exquisite pasta in Italy and indulging in finest French cuisine in Paris. But as Cassie navigates the demands of being an influencer and embracing her newfound passions, she struggles to find balance. Does she have what it takes to maintain her secret identity while pursuing her own dreams? And can she balance her grief of losing James with the thrilling possibilities that lie ahead? Eat, Post, Like will be released on June 3rd. Bestselling author Judy Leigh returns with The Silver Ladies Seize the Day. You're never too old to fall in love. Again. Cecily Hamilton is months away from her 92nd birthday. She's lived life to the full, choosing work over romance, friendship over love. And now she has a host of silver-haired friends living nearby, ready to fill her time with picnic lunches, Prosecco, and cheer. Cecily thought she was content. She thought her cup was full. But when the granddaughter of Cecily's first and only love arrives on her doorstep, claiming that her grandfather, Eddie, is still in love with Cecily after all these years, Cecily wonders if there might be room for a little romance after all. Especially since, one by one, her friends keep falling head over heels for old flames and new. Can the oldest silver lady of the bunch really hope for her own second chance at love? Is it finally time for Cecily to seize the day? Find out in The Silver Lady Seize the Day on June 4th. Park Avenue is the highly anticipated adult debut from Renee Ahdieh. Gia Song has always been destined for greatness. As the daughter of Korean bodega owners, she promised herself that she would have every Fifth Avenue luxury when she grew up. And it is all finally within reach. She has just made junior partner at her prestigious Manhattan law firm. She can count on her two best friends to have her back, and she is about to score the ultra-luxe gold-on-gold Birkin bag of her dreams. So when her boss asks her to sit in on the hush-hush family implosion of a high-level client, she accepts without hesitation, only to find out that it is one of the most famous Korean families in the world. The Parks family's net worth is estimated at $1 billion, and their mega-successful Korean beauty brand has shaped the culture for the past 2 decades. But the patriarch is filing for divorce while his wife is dying, and their 3 children can't stop snapping at one another. With both the family fortune and legacy under threat from the worst kind of scandal, it's up to Gia to set things right, and she only has a month to do it. As Gia sorts through the lies and subterfuge, chasing the truth across the globe on private jets, she finds herself falling for this broken, badly behaving family in ways she can't quite explain. But it is also becoming clear that the Parks are hiding dark secrets. Can she find the truth in time to protect the Parks' fortune and secure her success at the firm? And can she hold on to what's most important, even if it means admitting that what she's always wanted isn't what she actually needs? Park Avenue will be released on June 3rd. Finally, we have Deep Water from Paul Heatley, the latest in the Tom Rollins thriller series, perfect for fans of Leigh Child, Jason Casper, and David Archer. When you can't trust the law, you make your own. Former Black Ops specialist Tom Rollins is trying to live a quiet life in Newark when his friend Dennis witnesses a brutal crime. Reporting it to the police only puts them in greater danger. The lead detective is in the back pocket of a powerful and ruthless family, the Pennies. They have money, influence, and a deadly secret tied to their pharmaceutical empire, and they'll kill to protect it. Now, Tom, Dennis, and Tom's girlfriend are on the run, with no one to trust and nowhere to hide. Outnumbered and outgunned, Tom must rely on every lethal skill he has to keep them alive, and to take the pennies down, no matter what the cost. Find yourself in deep water on June 8th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading lists, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.